right, what happened up here?
Well, initially we wanted to put the well up there around the corner so it would be higher up than our building is, right? Our David, stop it. It's distracting me.
Oh, Dave.
So yeah, we were going to put the well up top here so that we could put our big green poly tank next to it, pump up into that, and then just gravity feed out of that so I don't have to run a pressure tank, right? And we don't have to use the 12-volt pump anymore. Unfortunately, though, with how steep it is and with the current state of our dirt, now that it hasn't rained in a month or two, it's like moon dust, we can't compact it and they can't get up it with their drill rig. I worked my butt off to clear that.
An entire week.
An entire week of clearing, ripping giant stumps out of the ground and cutting trees down and stuff. But we ended up having to go to a place that's much lower. It's actually on the road to the cabin. That took a day, not even a day. It took like 3 hours. Then they came and looked at it, and they're like, hey, can you tweak this, that, and the other thing? And I was like, okay. So this is the new site for the well. It's much easier to get to. I don't have to do as much work to prepare the site. That's the drill rig right there. It does have 2 drive axles in the rear, but it's not 4-wheel drive, and she's real heavy and top heavy. Right, just heavy and top heavy. So they already attempted to check it out. I need to cut a little bit more out of the high side here to flatten it out for them. I don't know if you could see there, but there's a hump right here. They went up on the high side here. If they went to the right, it is pretty soft over there. So I'm going to cut out this area all the way to there and pile it over there and run over it a bunch of times, and hopefully it's good to go at that point. And they should be able to start tomorrow. Very cool. Yeah, I talked to Justin. They'll do just the casing for where it needs casing. Like when the drill is going and all of a sudden it drops, that means there's a cave. They put a casing in there. And then they'll quote you for the drop tube and the pump, but they quoted him for like $16,000 for all that.
And his well's 800 foot.
$725.
The drop tube goes down how deep?
His static level is at like 3 or 2 something. So I think he's going to go down to 3 something.
300 feet of drop tube through them is like 16 grand.
300 feet of drop tube, the cable, and the pump and install.
Ooh.
That's probably a lot of the money there is them putting it in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just looking at Granger just to get an idea. So a 12 gallon per minute, 3/4 horsepower, 240, 7 amps, 338 max for the foot depth, or sorry, for the depth is $2,000. The 1 horsepower version of that, which will give you a max of 444 feet, which if we're going into the 300s, you want to go a little bit further, right? So that one's $2,100.
Mm-hmm.
So we could probably do the whole thing for $5,000, and that's with some fluff.
If we go the full 800 feet with the drill, we're looking at, it was 18 a foot, right?
I think so. So 750 times 18 is 13.5 plus 5, so 18.5.
So the total cost at 18 a foot for 800 feet was...
Oh, you want me to do 800 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, 800.
Well, that's what they're going to drill, right?
18. It depends.
We're assuming 800 because they went 800 or 7 something on theirs.
Okay. So that would be 14,400.
Okay.
Plus 5,000.
So at 20.
20. All done. Now we can talk to them when they come tomorrow.
I told him we had the baby and told him stuff about the baby and that the baby would be here, and he seemed excited. So I think he has more teeth coming in. Come look.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe the other side.
This looks the same.
Yeah, it looks pretty similar. This side's definitely.
He's gonna have fangs.
It's just his fangs coming in.
He's a carnivore, man. Oh yeah, he looks like he has his canines, and maybe these ones coming in.
He's like 17 days old.
Can already hold his neck up most of the way. He's trying to crawl and growing teeth.
He's gonna be chopping wood by the
Month
by
3,
the end of
he'll
the
have
winter.
a beard. It's because he has a competition with his brother. He sees his big brother and he's like, "Oh man, I gotta get big and strong before he beats me up." I didn't have that.
That's why it took you 2 years to walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You were
External
also
force.
so heavy, though. You were such a heavy baby. Let's walk where you want to put the circle drive. Yeah, we really do have moon dust when it's dry.
Mm-hmm. It's like dusty clay. So I want the circle drive to just go like right where there's like no trees, kind of. Probably on the other side of the Festiva.
Okay.
Coming off of the road that I just cut for the drillers. So it'll come off of there and come through here. And this will be, that thing's already dead. Or it's going to be dead. That's going to go. This silly one will go. That one, those ones, that one. Oh, that one might stay. I might keep that one on the other side of the driveway because that's a nice tree. That'll keep these ones. I'll take out the one that we keep hitting, that one, and the little cedar down there.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, look at that. That is sick.
This week marks 1 year since we first arrived at the property and started working on our homestead. We didn't figure a well would be possible in the first year. No one near us had one, and no one locally was able to recommend anyone. Then our close neighbors announced that they'd be getting a well sometime in the early fall. I begged them for contact information, but figured it wouldn't be put to use until next year, because we hadn't a clue how deep that we'd have to go, and that factor directly impacts the price. At $18 a foot, we couldn't risk not being able to afford whatever depth we needed to get the job done. Summer came and went, and although we had an extremely wet spring, a drought set in by August, and our hopes of relying on a water collection system for the fall and winter dried up. Just when it seemed like we would have to start trucking in water again, the neighbors took the leap and started drilling. It took them 2 weeks to hit water at 40 gallons a minute, but at just over 700 feet depth, they were flowing. Knowing their depth gave us the confidence to put a deposit down and start waiting our turn. Only a few days later, I got the call. 2 people had backed out, and if we could be ready in a week, they'd squeeze us in. So Woody jumped on the excavator and made it work. And just like that, we were prepared to drain our savings.
Okay, so well guy just came up to the door and was like, we hit water. So, 645 feet, it sounds like. But I don't know if that's the static level or what, so we'll see how much deeper we need to go. He's got 100 foot more pipe than he can do today. So.
They're dangerous stuff.
Oh, dangerous stuff. Come here.
Look at these.
Whoa!
Look at that.
Man.
No.
So we just hit water, or we are flowing water now at 645 feet. So we're gonna go ahead and see what that looks like. Wow. That's the water right there. The water. Hell yeah. Thank you, sir. What do you think, Dave? You get a drink? Get out of the way, Dave. Okay. So, you may not have heard because of the noise, but we are done drilling. That took, what, 3 days?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really quick. We are at 645
What?
at 25 gallons per minute.
Okay, so not quite as much as the neighbors.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe we'd get more if we went deeper, but we don't need to go any deeper.
Yeah.
They hit a trickle at 120. So
That's kind of crazy.
So we'll set the pump at 500, so we'll get a bore line and get our hose ordered and figure out our pump situation and order that. Yeah.
The next few minutes of this video are going to be for those of you who want to get a better look at the truck and get some stats and pretty much anything else that we can get out of this guy, who we like very much, about the truck and everything that they're doing out there. And for the record, I'm not using these people's names because they're pretty private and it isn't necessarily helpful. So please don't be insulted that I'm not calling anyone by their names here. It is intentional, and I think they would appreciate it. So let's check out the truck.
Dang. That's a serious blow off right there.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot. What was the pressure again? The CFM on that thing?
750 at 350. 345 horses. To turn the compressor.
That's crazy. So now, literally just picking it up and unscrewing the pipes and putting them back on?
Pretty much. Last thing that's the hammer.
So that was just a second. That's like a backup hammer.
Well, that's the casing hammer. It's bigger.
Oh
The hammer
yeah.
we're running now is smaller.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So that's the 8-inch hammer with a 9-inch bit. This is the 6-inch hammer with a 6-inch bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that one drilled the first 85 feet. This one drilled the next 540
40,
feet.
60 feet. Yeah.
40 feet. That's 60 plus 560. It does the majority of work.
Yeah.
Goodwill. Are you burning wood?
A little bit.
Okay, because I smell it.
Yeah. No, we're not. We don't have a fire. We're good.
Okay, well, sometimes leaves get on top of my exhaust manifold. And
That's terrifying.
I've had some fires.
That's terrifying.
I'm surprised it managed to get out. You don't normally see them that big.
So this is a rock that came out of a cave.
Out of a water cave.
Oh, look at that, dude. Yeah. It's still cold too. It looks like asphalt.
Probably more slate.
Yeah.
Slate.
And
Some sand in it.
Yeah,
See the
some
sparkles?
sand, and that looks like maybe quartz.
Possibly. Quartz is very common in Arkansas.
We're on one.